Hi everybody, my name is Dr. Jacob, and welcome to my read-along for In Search of Truth. Today we will begin on the bottom of page 8, the last paragraph. In this book, truth and reality are synonymous. The goal of finding truth is the goal of learning to identify and accept reality. Due to society developing a culture of opinions and acceptance, there are many thoughts and ideas of what reality is. Many people forget that even though everyone sees life differently, it doesn't mean that everyone's view of life is true and accurate. Just because something is said on the news doesn't mean it is correct. When someone knows the truth, it simplifies life greatly. Many concepts are only confusing because we don't know. I'm going to stop right here because especially in society today, we want to be accepting of everyone's opinion. But just because we want to accept everybody's opinion doesn't necessarily mean that every opinion is accurate. And so this is something that we get confused all the time. Because we want to be so accepting, when somebody states their opinion, yes, you want to be courteous, you want to be kind, you want to accept that that's the way they see life. But that doesn't mean that all of these different opinions are accurate. And that also doesn't mean that even though your opinion, although people should accept it, it doesn't necessarily mean that your opinion is accurate. And so that's the first thing in searching for truth we need to realize, is that yes, we want to be accepting, but it doesn't necessarily mean that every opinion is accurate and every point of view is accurate. In the book, I go on to explain some examples, such as religion. Yes, either God exists or God doesn't exist. Everyone can have their opinion on it, but in the end, it's either there is a God or there's not a God, right? Cancer treatments, I go on to talk about dieting. There's so many different diets out there. And yes, although we accept that everybody has their different idea of what's the best diet, it doesn't mean that all of these diets are actually accurate and really do help someone lose weight. It's just someone's opinion, what someone thought would help somebody, right? In reality, some of these diets actually work and some of them really do not. In moving on, now as we move on, now what we want to find out is the key for this week. What is the key that will help us to recognize truth? In going on in page 9, in the first full paragraph. In other words, there is a reality and then there is people's perception of reality. Common ideas wouldn't have any validity if everyone knew the truth. The more information and understanding you have, the less you listen to most people's opinions, and the more you only listen to people who know. In sports, for example, it never ceases to amaze me how much airtime some commentators spend on speculating. They talk about why they think what is happening is actually happening, and what they think will ultimately happen. If only the truth or reality was spoken, it would eliminate 90% of what they say. This goes especially in the past couple of months leading up to the Super Bowl. And even if you're a professional football fan, even this whole last season, there are so many commentators talking about Tom Brady, if he could win another Super Bowl, how well he would even do in the season. So much video recording of people just talking about their opinion. If everybody knew that at the end of the season Tom Brady would win the Super Bowl, a lot of this chit-chat and talk, it would have been eliminated. There would have been no need for it because all of it's inaccurate, and all of these ideas, most of these ideas that many commentators had were not accurate. They were really just nonsense being talked about. But we don't always know the truth. So for today's lesson, and the main point in as I read this portion of In Search of Truth that I want to get through in the lesson I want to be taught. When somebody knows the truth, it's very simple. There's not a lot of this, right? When someone's giving their opinion, they end up talking a lot. And so this is the key for identifying truth, is that when there's too much of this going on, it means that people really don't know. When somebody's straightforward, when it's simple, easy to understand, then you start to realize that's probably going to be more accurate than somebody who has to do this a lot. I remember back in the days of when I was in college, I remember thinking to myself, going through calculus 1, 2, 3, differential equations, physics. I remember thinking, why is it so complicated? And then I read about Richard Feynman, who was a physicist, won the Nobel Prize, and he identified in his book that in reality they don't really understand physics very well, because he tried to explain an idea in a way that even a freshman college student could understand, and he figured out he could not. And his conclusion was, because he couldn't explain physics very simply, at least this idea of physics, he didn't really understand it well, meaning he didn't see the reality. He didn't understand it accurately. And this is why mathematics is often very complicated, because there's so many exceptions to the rule, because we don't actually understand what's going on. We only have a percentage of accuracy in the way we understand math, in the way we understand how the world operates. But as you get closer to finding the truth, as you hear it, it will be simple, easy to understand. So your challenge this week is to take it to the test. Go and find things that people are doing a lot of this too, and identify, is it more accurate or less accurate? And as you listen, can you identify when people are simple, easy to understand? And that's where we want to focus our time, right? There are many things in life that we will never know, that we might not understand accurately very well. But if we train ourselves to only listen to that which is simple, easy to understand, and whenever we hear this, to not worry about it, it will allow us to be able to identify the truth even more. It will allow us to sort through all of the opinions in life, which is good, that everyone's talking about what they think. And it's really important that we accept everyone's opinion. But if you want to be someone who actually understands reality and knows the truth, we want to stay away from a lot of this, and we want to hear the truth. We want to look for things that are simple, easy to understand. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and we will see you next time. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video and you want to see more, press the thumbs up button below and subscribe to our channel. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below and we'll answer them in future videos.